Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426 and today we have the review of something very interesting. So here we have what is so-called Energy Dragon from Dr. Wu. So this is basically one of those unofficial, non-licensed Transformers products as far as I can basically explain it. But the reason why I specifically got this is because this is like an SD version of Trypticon, and number two, they're also not only this is not only based on Transformers, but this is also based on 5-2 Toys Beast Box's concept, which is why it was a very interesting thing that I haven't seen in other companies do. So I decided to get one myself. So yeah, here we go. So this is a non-official product, so just letting you guys know out there. Alright, so let's see what we got. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously Trypticon himself, and then other than the weapons, you do get his mini-con. Now, I do apologize, my knowledge for Transformers is not as wide or broad compared to from the Gundam series or Gunpla series, so I am not too familiar with the whole names of these mini-cons, or mini-cons, so I do apologize for that. Alright, so yeah, you do get a very simple mold. That thing does not transform, it's just a car mold with a face on the bottom, so that's that. Here we have the box. I was very surprised to see how small the box is compared to like the 5-2 Toys Beast Box ones. They are much larger than this, but this is like very compact and very flat, so it was very interesting to see what they did here. And then in the box, it's also obviously in a plastic blister pack, and then comes with now I got this sticker, but I'm not sure if this sticker was from Dr. Wu company or the seller, because the seller I bought this from, he does give out these kind of bonus stickers, so I'm not sure if where this one came from, but assuming by this mark it's from the seller. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. And then yeah, other than that, you do get the instruction manual from the inside. Now, for those who have seen the promo pictures, this thing does actually, on the promo pictures, it shows the cube form and its so-called hovercraft form or bird mode, but the manual does not show the cube form. At best, it does show, I believe this is the bird mode, number 15, but it does not show the cube form. So in order for me to do the cube form, I had to look at the promo pictures and basically guess for myself on how to transform into a cube form. So yeah, and then finally, like 5-2 Toys or other third-party company or unofficial licensed companies, they do give you a small card, yeah, with the figure with some stats on the back, which is all in Chinese as far as I know, but there is a bit English description on the bottom. Alright, so now let's go on to the review right away. So I'm probably going to show you guys all the modes that you can do. I'm going to end it off with the cube form because that's not really mentioned in the manual, but yeah, and I won't be showing the overall transformation process to Fortress or like City mode and like Bird mode because that's going to take a long time. But still, let's see what we got. So I overall like the size and, you know, and overall proportions for this. I really like it. For those who don't know how big this thing is, now here is next to compared to a typical size 1:144 scale HUC Gunpla. You can see it's smaller than a typical Gunpla, but once again, this is because it's a dinosaur. If I, you know, straighten it all up, so yeah, he can, well, he's still shorter than the Gunpla, but still you can see where this is going. So yeah, shorter than a typical Gunpla, but still, for those who are a fan of Trypticon and are collecting pretty much everything that's Trypticon, I say this is going to be an excellent, you know, addition to your collection. But anyway, let's see what we got. So the head, let's start with the head. So the head can go up a lot, that's pretty good, and then down also a lot. Now, this is mostly due to the transformation, but still, that's very good for its articulation, but there is no side-to-side movement because it is on a joint, so there's no left to right rotation or anything. And you can open the mouth and then it reveals its two cannons inside the mouth, and you can actually adjust those cannons if you want to do so. And I think with the right beam effect part, you might be able to slap something in there as well, because those holes seem a little bit familiar size. And then if you're wondering, yes, the cannon on the top of the head is also open. You can open it up and then adjust like that, so you can open the cannons up. Yeah, so it's got the basic details very well correct. And then on the back here we have these cannons here. Well, they are on pegs. Let me just take them out for now. So they are on pegs, so they can go downwards or upwards like this. 360 not possible in this situation. And then by looking at the cannon itself, you can kind of close this up, so there are multiple ways to store these depending on which mode you go for. So sometimes you're gonna have to fold this up or open this up for the transformation. And then they have one more gimmick here. Now one works pretty okay. The other one is slightly trickier, but still the way how this works is that we're spring loaded here like that. So you can push it all the way in to fold this in. To make it into Q form, you have to fold this all the way in, and then you can press this small button here. To do that. I'm not sure if this was really necessary, but yeah. Now the problem is, which is why I don't recommend you putting this in cube form, because you're practically stressing the spring by doing this. So if you're leaving this on the cube form for a long time, it's gonna affect the spring. So that is slightly tricky. All right, so let me just put the cannons back on. Cannons back on, because I do need to show the arm articulation as well. So here we have the arms. The arms are also technically on ball joints. You can see the gigantic ball joint there. And because it is on a ball joint, going 360 should be possible, but because of the cannons, they're going to get in the way. But if you take away the cannons, 360 should be no problem as well. And then there is one bending point there, so you do get a 90-degree bend there. And then the claws also do move. The purple sections of the claws do move, so you do have some control of it. That's pretty good. And then you do have a hole there, so if you want to, you can technically you could slap on the cannon next to the arm if you want to do so. So up to your preference. At this point, let me just take those out. Now for the for the belly, we have this part here. Once again, nothing too special there. And then we have the tail here, which does move a little bit, so it can go downwards and then upwards a little bit, and then we have another tail here, but a little bit wiggle up and down, and then the end tip can move all the way in, but that's pretty much folding it inside. And this is all the tail, so yeah. Do let me know for the experts regarding Transformers. Is this all the tail that Trypticon has, or is this just a minimized version? And also, when you're moving up the tail, make sure this could happen. You can open up the lid. So technically, if you don't want to open the lid, this is as far as it goes. So there's not much range to the tail as well. Now for the legs, as you can see, the legs are on these interesting joints here. There's on joints, and then there's this opening section right over here. Now this opening section is more for the transformation to the fortress mode or city mode. So just looking at the legs, you do have a little bit range of movement here. So because of the double joint or double hinges, you can kind of position the legs upwards or downwards like that. And then and then going 360 on the legs is almost possible. It's just the arms that are in the way. So technically you could work your way around. And then here we have another bend point here. So yeah. And then the feet obviously are on these gigantic ball joints, so you can go rotate them. You get a very nice super pivot, but that's also technically for a transformations thing. And then rotation on the feet as well. And you can see on the back of the feet we have these cannons, I believe, which are for the fortress mode. For making fortress mode, for those who are familiar with the original Trypticon toy, yes, there is this part where you can separate the legs like this. So I think for those who are familiar with Trypticon should know how the transformation works here. And there we go. And then there is this part here with a wheel. You can actually open this section up for here. So I'm assuming this is more for the bird mode, because I did not find any use for this on the fortress mode. All right, and then for the legs, I think that is pretty much it. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the articulation going on here. So I think there's only two more things to show, which are the fortress mode, bird mode, or technically three, and the cube form. So once again, I'll be right back with the fortress mode, because it's pretty much what you think you do. You fold this up, you move the arms upwards, obviously slap the cannons on. There's a few sections that you need to open. For example, like I believe you can open this section here. There we go. You open this section here to reveal another third pillar, like that. And then all you need to do is, set up the feet here, and fold up the tail. So once again, I'll be right back with the fortress mode. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the base mode, or fortress mode, or city mode, whatever you call it these days. So once again, it's a very simple transformation here. All you need to do is just spread out the legs, pull out a few parts. Now, one thing I have finally noticed, because some parts on the instruction manual didn't make sense, is that the way how you connect the cannons here. Now, at first I had no idea how to connect it like this, because I didn't see any, round pegs or here on this side. But so what I've been doing so far was doing something like this, which technically still works, but apparently this is also a small peg, and on the arm here there is a square peg, and all you need to do is to plug it in and that is how you can follow the manuals entirely correctly. So anyway, other than that, so yeah, it's a very simple looking, fortress mode as far as you can tell, but it also got all the details here, like the small cannons here, and then the 3 pillars right over here as well. Although I'm not sure if the arms are very well hidden at this point, but still, yeah, it's pretty convincing enough that this does not look like a Mecha T-Rex here, because of course if you look at the back, obviously you have his head, but other than that, they did a pretty good job on replicating the overall design here as well. And then yeah, you can, well, there's no way this thing can go up here, but if you want to, you can still plug him in, plug the Minicon here if you want to do so. Either way. So regarding the bird mode, so as far as I understood, it's very simple. So basically you need to fold this up like this, fold the feet, basically make the legs back again, do this, fold this back here, and all you need to do is just fold this all the way inwards like this. So do something like that, and then there should be like a small peg here that allows you to connect the folding point. So there's a peg here, and then there should be a hole there so you can connect the 2 things. It was a very firm connection here. Pull down the gun, and then basically do the same thing on the other side of the leg here. Put this in, do that, fold this all the way in, and then yeah, do that, and then all you need to do for the rest is just move the guns forward. Oh, sorry about that. Based on the manual, of course. So all I need to do is to move the guns forward like this, and you're good to go. So here we have the bird mode, or the so-called well, yeah, some people call this the fan-made bird mode, but yeah, it works for some reason. Of course, according to the manual, I have to fold this in one more time. There we go. So yeah, this is the flight mode of Trypticon. Now, yeah, I mean, other Transformers series I have seen or played the game, so I do know Trypticon. Like for example, the Fall of Cybertron, Trypticon becomes the Nemesis ship going on here. So I guess it would be interesting. I guess that concept could be applied to the original G1 Trypticon as well. So yeah, very simple design, and surprisingly it works. So yeah, I have no negatives about this, and I believe this is where the wheels come into play. So you have these wheels that you can fold outwards so that you can kind of roll this thing. But still, yeah, so everything works as the manual implies or is telling you to do, because there are products that just doesn't work even with the manual is mentioning there. So yeah, so they did a really good job, and there's only one thing left to show, and that is the Q form. Like I said, the Q form is not mentioned on the manual. I would like to point this out multiple times. So what I did was I basically went online, found the Q image promotion, the promo picture, and then basically did whatever I could. So I'll be right back with that form. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the Q form. Now, if you are curious how to do the Q form, just let me know in the comment section, and I will make either like a small YouTube Shorts video or something to show you guys how to do the Q form. But still, here's the general design of it. It's basically trying to literally making the Trypticon into a Q form. The only part at the end, what you need to do is basically you have to slide in the basically Minicon here. So I'm not sure which should come first, but basically there's a square hole there, and this Minicon does have like a square peg thing going on here, and then all you need to do is basically connect all of them together. So there's all these ports and pegs to connect each other here. So there's one port connecting here, and then you can see this on the side. This connects to this onto the cannon here, and on the cannon here there's like 2 ports here that connects from bottom and the back section right at the same time. So, and they did make sure to guarantee that everything locks into place here so that nothing falls off. So, and then finally, now what you're supposed to do is basically fold these cannons inwards. And then, yeah, mine, one of them doesn't work as well compared to the other one. Yeah, so there we go. And then, technically, this is supposed to fit into the 52 Toys Beast box charger. Now, keep in mind, the box charger does not come with this product, because this is not a 52 Toys product. This is a unofficial from a different company. So they're just using the whole concept here. But technically, if you did it correctly, you can store it in here. But once again, I do not recommend this because, oh, come on, ow. I do not recommend this because of the spring gimmick here, because you're going to be stressing the spring for a long time if you leave it in cube form. So yeah, and that is pretty much it for the review. So once again, I really like this. I'm a big fan of the Beast Box line from 5 to Toys in general. So because of the fact that this is Trypticon, which is a transformer that I really wanted to try out at some point, that transforms into a cube. This was really something that I wanted to try out. I'm aware, or I have seen some pictures from Dr. Wu where they're releasing more color variants, a green and a purple version, and a dark energon color version going on here. I'm not sure I'll be getting those, but once again, because of this concept, I would love to see either 5-2 Toys or a different company to do something. They would get the official license from Zoids and make a Goldrass version of this, or maybe that transforms into a cube, or maybe Iron Kong that transforms into a cube. Something like that. I would love to see more of that as well. And there are even other companies that are working on combiners, or like other robots in general that transforms into cubes. So I actually have purchased one, and I will be reviewing that pretty soon. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the review. So once again, this was the review of the Energy Dragon from Dr. Wu, but technically this is also a non-official, unlicensed Trypticon product at the same time. Now, because of this, I would also definitely love to see more of these by other companies, and definitely made me want to try even more of that Mastermade series, especially Trypticon. I know that doesn't transform into a cube, but you get my point. Anyway, if you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.